What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to be covering a topic that many people want to know, and this topic is whether or not you should buy the iPad 1 or the iPad 2. The iPad 2 was released only about 2 weeks ago, and it is still relatively new. And I myself have just picked up an iPad 1 first generation 16 gigabyte. Now, the reason for doing this I'm going to explain in this video, and maybe this will sway your opinions on whether or not to get the iPad 1 or the iPad 2. So first off, the reason why I got an iPad 1 was the only new things they've changed in the iPad 2 is the design, the processing speed, and the cameras. Now, design-wise, they made it much thinner, and they made it just in the color of white. Now, first of all, I like black to begin with. As you can see, I have the black model here, which is the only model they made, but I kind of like the black, being a guy and all, but I think the white just looks less polished than the black, but that's just me. So that's not a big deal breaker for me, and in terms of thinness, I mean, it would be nice if this was thinner, but I mean, look at that. That's very, very thin still. I don't have any problems with it at all. I kind of like this design better anyway. The other one is lighter and thinner, but this one feels better in my hand, I think. So the design is definitely not a deal breaker for me. And I am not willing to spend $100 more just for a new design. In terms of processing speed, I have seen videos of the iPad 2, excuse me, running certain apps, and this iPad 1 is definitely not a slouch. I mean, many apps load very fast on this. I'll give you an example of say, loading a web page. If you guys saw my previous video, let's load my website, actually. Let's load the Macintosh Review.com. Here we go. It definitely is not a slouch. I mean, it loads every website very relatively fast. And this is my heavily loaded content website. And as you can see, it is almost finished loading, and there you go. It's definitely not a slouch. The iPad 2 is only about a second or two faster in everything. And just to show you how multitasking works on this, which may be another factor, I'm going to open up a couple of apps here. Let's open up contacts as well. It definitely is not slow. It switches between apps very fast, and everything works just as it should. So yeah, it is not slow at all. In terms of gaming, I'm going to say it loads games relatively fast. I opened up Chromag here, and as you guys can see, that loaded almost instantly. I mean, it is going to load some of the newer games faster on the iPad 2, but this is not a slouch. I don't think it's worth an extra $100 for the extra processing power. I would wait until the iPad 3 if I were you, and purchase the iPad 1 as I did. And the final factor that Apple added to the iPad was cameras. Now, I personally am getting an iPod Touch 4 soon, coming in the mail, and I have no need for cameras. I'm filming from my phone right now, actually, as we speak, and I am going to be filming from my phone, video chatting on my phone, filming from the iPod, and video chatting with the iPad, as well as my Mac. So I see no need for the cameras on here. I think they're just bulky. This device I wouldn't film on, and it is too awkward to film on. It's a big device. I can't see just carrying it around like this, just filming on it. So I see no need for the cameras, and that is why I chose the iPad 1. Hopefully this video helped you out in which device you want to purchase. If it did,